All right, everyone, welcome back into another Prize Picks video. We're going to be touching on the top props for this Sunday slate. So just looking at the board for today, we do have a pretty decent size board. I got WNBA, MLB, soccer, some PGA, and then a decent amount of esports and a little bit of tennis as well. So I'll be touching on all that with the emphasis going into MLB. We'll start out with the MLB based props. So starting out for MLB today, we do have a couple of decent ones here. Just to start out, we got Christian Yelich and Carlos Correa for over hits, runs, RBIs at 1.5. We can see both of these are going to be decent. They have about a 53.7% chance to hit, but both of them are going to be projected to get over that amount. So, not terrible ones. If you guys are trying to do a bigger bet slip, I would say if you're just someone that does, 2-leg bets, 3-leg bets, maybe not the best for you. But if you're trying to do a flex slip, maybe 5 or 6, those two would then make sense in that regard. Let's go a little bit further. What I really want to look at is from there, we're not getting that many different ones. I mean, maybe pitcher strikeouts for Zach Gallen, where some of the sports books are starting to favor more than 6.5, which is what his line is on PrizePicks. And at 6.64, the average line, that's about a 52% chance to hit. So not a terrible one there as well. That is certainly someone you could roll with if you wanted to. But really what I want to get into is I want to touch on some of the hitting fantasy score props that we were getting for MLB. A lot of you guys know this is kind of the sweet spot. And so the best one that we're going to get is going to be Nolan Arenado. Now, yesterday, he was basically getting the same projection and just didn't get there. He had 5 fantasy points. And so we can see PrizePicks line is at 7.5. Not terrible. He just need to get another hit, or really just need to get another hit. Got walked and scored is how we got there. So not a terrible day. Need a little bit more out of him. Everyone else in his range ended up getting there. And so given the fact that this is a second straight game in which the data has thought he was going to go off, and obviously that game against Colorado, that is typically a game that we want to be attacking. And I'm sure if we looked at the sportsbook odds, we would see that this is a game that we want to be attacking. 9.5 for a run total is typically kind of how it goes with Colorado games, even if it's not in Colorado, it seems like. So not a terrible one there. And that's really one of the better games that we have available. Maybe Washington versus Cincinnati. And that's really, we have a bunch of 9.5 games as well. Here's a decent one, Toronto versus Boston as well. But for the most part, a lot of the games that we were going to get are going to be 9.5 for the run total. So not one that we would stray away from. But that's kind of it. I mean, we are getting other decent ones like Aaron Judge, who's been so cold that he's eventually just going to have such an awesome day. Maybe that finally happens, but because he's been struggling, the projection data doesn't like him as much as Vegas. Devers there we could roll with as well. Like, these guys are all props that Vegas thinks is going to have a really good day today, whereas the projection data not agreeing with it. So definitely interesting in that regard. I would say if you find a stack here, maybe trying to go with the 10-run or 10.5-run games, the Cincinnati-Washington or the Toronto-Boston game, you could do that. And really, we got Devers then popping up in there, so not a terrible one if you're trying to chase that game, maybe trying to stack that high run total. And then just real quickly, we are finally getting a good pitching fantasy score prop. Sandy for the Miami Marlins has really been hit or miss this season. Let's put it that way. But his projected line is only 29.5. Okay, the average Vegas line has it set at 31.2, which is awesome. And then the projection data actually has him set at 39. So the projection data really thinks he's going to go off. So that is certainly one we could be looking at. And then Kyle Brandish for the under pitching fantasy score props we could roll with as well. But really, I see 2 really good MLB-based props that we have today that are going to go on my bet the day slip. So if you guys want to see that, check it out at the end. I want to real quickly get into some other props that we have available on the day. Let's get into PGA first. So I'm getting into the 9-5 showdown sheet, which is for DFS purposes, but we can also use that for props as well. I also have a prop sheet that I'll show you guys as well here, but I want to go into round 4 because that's the round they're going into, and I want to go into showdown rank. Now, there are some golfers that have started the round out, so it's not like perfect because of that, but I just want to call out some players that are good showdown plays. Jaeger, Byung-Hun An, Chesson Hadley, those are all going to be good plays for us and potentially plays that we could be on in terms of some prize pick props that we have out there. Because if we pull up the board, we are going to see we got some nice lines. We got Byung-Hun An at 65.5, and so this would only be 3 under par for him to hit. Obviously, he's one of the better showdown plays, so that's not a terrible one. JT Poston is another one that I don't mind. He is someone that was a former champ at this course. He's playing well. I kind of expect him to have a good day. Jaeger is another one that I don't mind, and then Brendan Todd as well. Like, I'm actually really surprised that we are getting a lot of these props for these golfers to only shoot 3 under par. I haven't seen anything with the weather that would suggest that it should be different as well, so it does seem like we are getting some sort of edges for these lines that are at 65.5. And just for what it's worth, like, yes, the prop sheet doesn't exactly love them for their over birdie or better at 4.5, but at the same time, they don't need to get 4 5 birdies to shoot under 68.5. Okay, so not terrible props in that regard. And then just looking at WNBA real quick, really we are getting one kind of decent prop in my eyes, maybe two, okay? And they're going to be for the same player, so it's really kind of how you want to go about attacking it. We got Jones here, where PrizePicks has the line set at 13 for points, whereas the Vegas line has set at 13.5, and Underdog has set at 13.5. She's projected at 14.3, and then same thing with the rebounds. But I want to call it the reason why PrizePicks has it bumped down compared to Underdog and the Vegas line is the under is being heavily favorited. So maybe we go points and rebounds here with her to get the over. All in all, not exactly one I really want to chase. Let's get into the discrepancy. So the discrepancy report here is the old Esports tab, which makes me want to do another call out real quick. I just want to remind you guys that I'm currently running a promo on the 9 to 5 website for the playoffs in golf. Okay, there's 3 tournaments left right now, so take advantage of that for the next 3 weeks. You get 50% off of the original membership price, which is $10 a month. I already priced that for you guys that way, so you can get it for $5 a month. Okay, that's gonna be for new members only, and it's for the first month only. Okay, but still, you can get all this information, all this data for just $5 a month. That is an insane value, especially compared to other people, other companies out there that have the same stuff. You're getting so much bang for your buck. So make sure to take advantage of that if you guys are interested. And also, like, I haven't been able to do as many videos as I wish. A lot of you guys know I had a newborn. Time is crazy right now, so I can't always do a video. That's a good way for you guys to get an edge each day without having to come out with videos. But looking at the esports props that we have some decent ones here. Really, this one here is probably the best one here. And what we are comparing is the line from Underdog to PrizePicks. Okay, so this might not seem like a lot, just a half of a prop line difference there, but it does add up to be kind of a big difference when it's that small of a number. Okay, and chances are the line probably should be 2, and maybe they both hit, where you bet the under on PrizePicks of 2.5, and then you bet the over on Underdog. Maybe this becomes a push, and maybe this one then hits as well, and they get to 2. We look at some tennis one. All right, aces, like not that good. We can see 54.5, not the biggest edge there, but not terrible there as well. And then that kind of ends it. I do want to call it that this is a sheet that typically updates around noon, around 1 p.m., and there are a lot of props in there that are a huge advantage. And lately, I've been actually very much able to take advantage of that on PrizePicks. So it's been kind of a nice week in that regard for esports. Then just looking at some big prop line differences that we might begin. Maybe you guys want to take advantage of that. Nothing too crazy. Tennis here, 2 game difference. So nothing too crazy there. Let's go on and get to my bet of the day. So here we are. We do have those 2 MLB props. I would say if we are looking for a 2-leg slip, this would be the one that we want to go with. Typically speaking, guys, if we can find 2 really awesome MLB props like this, it's going to hit. As you guys can see in the bet of the day description, or in the link in the description below, in the YouTube description below, the bet of the day record is pretty awesome, about 60%. And so, yes, it's not guaranteed to hit, but a lot of the times it's because of bets like this where they are very favorable bets. And if it misses today, if we get 2 similar props like this tomorrow, I wouldn't mind just doubling up and then just continuing that, because we know eventually good lines like this are going to hit. Now, these PGA props I want to call out, I like these because we got 2 plays that are supposed to be good showdown plays, and also they kind of project out well this round. And then also watching yesterday's round, it seemed like Brennan Todd and JT Poston both should have had better rounds than they did. They are both players that are from the North Carolina area. They're both probably going to show up today. Now, the only issue with the PGA props is that the payout gets shifted. So if you guys want to maybe bet the 2 best I see, you could do that as well. Just because the payout shifts, because we have too many of the same props in there, you could do that. That's going to be all. Just want to remind you guys quickly of that promo. Use the promo code PLAYOFFS spelt out when sign up for your first month of the 9 to 5 membership. Get 50% off of the $10 membership. So get it for $5 a month. That's going to be for new members only. Take advantage of that. That's going to be all for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let's have a good day. And as always, let's keep cashing.